Legends. I was talking
is he gonna
about
do it?
this.
Just do it, Showmaker.
Okay,
oh, they
let's
left
go!
it in!
So,
right.
Okay, need to talk about this. This is a new build that has been really terrorizing. Showmaker's played it some solo queues as well. It's been terrorizing the Korean ladder. You go Phase Rush, you go Lich Bane first, and the short trades that you're able to force.
Pretty well in this one, a dangerous concept. Let's jump into the Rift for game 1.
No word for Lucid. Looks like Lucid is also going to be pathing towards the top half of the map. Kingdom went for Fleet. Lethal Tempo, obviously, going to feel really strong in the early levels. And something that I didn't mention yet, but we need to highlight as well, is that the Jax is not only good into TF, but it also invalidates a lot of what they do go in as. That is...
It was Faker, the last one to play the mid Diana. That is very, very cool. Dove, of course, used to be on Sandbox many moons ago. And it is...
Is that the top lane?
100% win rate?
Yeah, case in point, so Showmaker here really wants to get a Sheen as soon as possible, as we do see the Halo Blades trades not being very fun. The Ignite.
Yeah, the Ignite goes down, but Kellen will survive that one. Gumayusi actually taking a lot of damage as well. As you can see, Ona down here towards the bottom side. And Lucid gonna have to get here if they want to avoid some sort of dive. Looks like this wave not massively stacked as the snare is fantastic. Carry is too far forward, but he is going to be able to survive with the flash. Still, disaster for T1. This early game is everything for this bottom lane.
Oh, Ignite, but Owner is on his way.
Sidestep, my God. Kellen playing with fire as well. I think they're pretty aware of the fact that this ward is down, as Lucid will find Owner. I am pretty sure aiming now, walking after Gumayusi as well as he flashes forward, stacks up the blight. Will he hit the arrow? He will, but it's not enough. Always drink your potions.
And then get the immediate reset on her dash. Once upon a time, the skills were changed, as we might have a 3v3 here.
Yeah, Lucid in position. Might need to safeguard over to Showmaker as they're looking to engage. Ellen moves on down. Aiming's already here as well. As Wind Become Lightning does come down, but Carrier looks to be the one in trouble in the arrow. It's going to ring true this time around. First blood goes to Aiming.
And Carrier ends up going down, giving the kill to Aiming.
이건 몰랐지.
That's a happy aiming right there. And that's going to be really important. We mentioned map control being a huge thing is, wow, Kellen going to get engaged on here. Doesn't have Shape Splitter, but there's the ulti. Does do a fair bit, but he's still going to go down. Teleports coming in everywhere as Faker moves on in. Showmaker also down here, Lucid in decent position, but I don't think they're going to be able to find any sort of advantage. T1 not going to push too far forward, and they equalize the kills.
Big win there, kill going over to Guma. Allows him to put some pressure on these plates and further build the gold lead.
Ooh, Chains of Corruption are going to connect here as Pop Blossom comes down. Gumayusi, that's a decent flash, but Lucid's still on top of him. The flash forward, the Hextech Ultimatum comes down. Now Ona gets on in there. Lucid will be taken out. Carrier down to half, but look at Ona. He is an absolute monster in this fight. Only 50% of his health bar goes down, and Faker wants even more. Aiming just by himself under the turret. The flash has to come out to avoid the shockwave. And Showmaker is hitting a turret, doing exactly what Diana loves to do. The passive, of course, works on turrets, so you chew through them real quickly, but he wasn't able to help his bottom lane at all. Wants to finish off his Trinity Force as quickly as possible. And now the arrow doing a fair bit of work here. Lucid just trying to avoid this dragon killing him.
Showmaker is here.
Yeah, Faker on the flank there as well. Ona just walks over, presses his smite button, and that is going to collect the Drake. Also, just presses Crescent Guard and takes 0 damage, as you generally do on this champion. Kellen moving on over. That was a back from Carrier that was just allowed to happen inside that brush. As now Zeus going to have to flash. He's flashing the wrong direction, though, as he looks to Destiny away, and he is going to be able to do so. He only has the Counter-Strike to be able to make that one work. So now, Lucid coming down. Owner and Faker here looking to try and stop Showmaker, but he's not going to stop. He has got his Lich Bane, and he is cutting through these turrets. He often goes Zhonya's second, but it's the third item that we're not really sure about because he tends to win or lose before that even comes in. As Carrier's going to face check and just get kicked to his doom. He does last a little bit longer. Hextech Ultimatum coming on down there, but that is going to be Kellen getting his revenge.
Kellen getting the kill is a little bit silly there. Showmaker.
Yeah, there's a Moonfall as well onto Zeus. Remember, does not have his flash available. The flash forward into the Pop Blossom. And the snare comes down. Took a while, but TF does go down. Faker does get here though. Showmaker with the Pale Cascade shield is going to hold on, but there is the shockwave back onto Only. Kellen Lucid misses the Q though. And that means Ona, he dives back in, but this is 2 versus 4.
Yeah.
Orcs. Some sausages in the chat, please. And hopefully he thinks a little bit more. Oh, that was a bit of a weird moment, as Chains of Corruption will connect the immediate punishment, but the Fate's Call does come down. Snare onto Gumayushi, who's now looking to try and hop this one out. Showmaker looking for him, though the exhaust comes down to lower the damage, but he's still in melee range. Hextech Ultimatum still comes in, but it's 2 kills that go down for DK. The answering kill is there from Zeus. Showmaker going down relatively low, but the Q is going to land onto the Twist of Fate. It's going to leave the Diana completely exposed, and T1 will answer with a couple of kills of their own. Kingen still wanting a little bit more though, and he's just dove on top of Zeus. There's the flash, and they'll lock down the kill. Kingen still wanting to fight. This Jax just freed from his solo lane, now wanting to get work done.
From Owner.
Not to mention the Drake just taking a really long time to go down. Keria is already very, very low. Mega Cone going to bring Kingen towards this dragon, as Ona could come over for a cheeky step if he would like to, and he's not going to be able to secure it this time around. Second Drake for DK will go their way, and now the fight is on. There's the safeguard cancel. Does manage to break the arm guard off Faker, or the stopwatch, it is the Zhonya's. So he has actually completed that, as Kingen under about 50% looking for a flank. Still DK are pressing further forward.
Yeah, what is Triforce?
It's a fan, obviously. It's a triangular fan.
Fans are very cool weapons. I'm a big fan, personally.
Yeah, you're, well, a big fan. You could be a weapon. It's okay. The ulti does come on through from Ona, but he's not going to be able to get out of the way. Oh, the Hextech Ultimatum is decent. The Pop Blossom comes down as well. The first kill does come through as the Lee Sin will be taken out. The Shockwave is gigantic! And the TF takes down the Varus in the backline as well. I think DK may have ran out of battle power, and they have. T1 on the back of Faker's Shockwave will move to the Baron.
That really is the one angle. There are a lot of squishies on T1. If you can get a heroic Diana play.
Well, Shockwave does come on through there as he does find a Moonfall onto 3, and into the backline goes Lucid, but he just pops like a balloon. They cannot do anything about it. Kingen now having to get out of there as the dissonance damage is just gigantic. Kellen down to about 1 health, and in goes Ona. He'll be able to take down the Nico here as Keria diving forward. Hextech Ultimatum going down. Zeus just uses him as a distraction as he tidies up absolutely everyone, and DK once again just lying on the floor.
That is going to be game number 1, Atlas. It was a tense fight, but one big mistake from DK around the Baron is all that T1 needed, and they're going to go up 1-0 in the series.
And Faker just coming in clutch in the end around that Baron. That is going to spell defeat for DK and a 1-0 lead for T1. Their first game victory here in the playoffs, and it's about time.
I think the split has been great, but for Owner, that's pretty necessary because he hasn't looked great in playoffs, and the Xin Zhao doesn't generally inspire that much confidence, but great game this time around. And they do actually ban the Gnar!
It's just going to be banned.
I'm going to give that one over. Zeus, an exceptional Gnar. Okay, so we actually were right!
Yeah.
Xin Zhao's locked in again.
So it's Xin Zhao bot lane. And Veigar, Viego, they both have very similar sounding names, so obviously the mid-jungle synergy is going to be at an all-time high.
Good, yes.
What? That's just Vayne, okay. All right, Zeus.
King is like, oh god, no! no, not in pro play too.
I was gonna say, like, that is a gambit that T1 are taking. You could see Koma's face, he was like, he didn't just like, wait. Let's jump onto the Rift for game number 2 of D+ Gear versus T1. Yeah, Keria is going to look to try and get a flash out of Showmaker, and he may actually have to use it here. Oh, holds onto it. Even gets a Baleful Strike for a stack or 2.
And he has Spellbook, so he just TP's back, and he's fine. Doesn't care. So aiming, not quite able to get the ward there.
Yeah, might even be able to get an extra... No, he won't. So Faker will have a bit of lane control here, and the teleport already down for Showmaker.
This is really big though, because of the fact that most people of T1 show towards the bot side of the map, and they spotted Zeus towards the top half as well.
Wait, yeah, it was Keria that played it last against Kellen on his Yuumi. Crazy. Actually, no, I remember this. This was the tech. It was the Yasuo Sejuani bottom lane.
The gank.
As here it is. Okay, Zeus is already ghosted. Let's see, charging up the stun. Not going to find a good flash from Zeus, but Lucid probably typing worse because that is both summoner spells now down.
For sure. Oh, he's faking. He still has flash. Ghost is timed out.
Oh,
okay, doesn't end up going for it. A little bit of tension there. And now also you see, as soon as they spot him, T1 know that the bot side jungle was being taken. Kellen and Aiming, they do have prio, so they are going to ensure that all Owner was able to get was not even the big Raptor, just a little bit.
Yeah, Owner is in a bit of trouble here as well. Has to flash to avoid death.
Yeah, really well done there. The threat of the cage, enough.
Diego will be able to jump on top of this Rift Scuttler. Takes that one down. Meanwhile, more fighting here towards the bottom side as Permafrost is going to be utilized. Owner now fighting Lucid, but this is a dangerous one. Zeus moves on down as Lucid needs to be so careful. Is Owner going to go down? No, he's not! The blue buff getting aggressive, but there is Showmaker. He doesn't have flash though, remember, so he's likely to fall down. It's a fantastic cage! As Zeus, he gets knocked into the sky and Showmaker's trying to walk it off. Faker flashing after him. Now Kingen chasing down the Emperor. Does manage to get the slow hit, and he finds it. He has the red buff here as well as Faker trying to get out of the way. That Q just not finding the mark as Faker just shifts the sands over the wall.
Imagine Archangels is at some point going to get picked up as we do have Drake.
Yeah, possible fight for this one as there is full information over here.
On the go!
Yeah, Showmaker trying to clear out vision, but I don't think he's going to be able to make anything happen. No flash available. As Owner will take a little bit of poke, but otherwise not too much to worry about as Kellen finds himself on the wrong side of this wall. Skate over there from Aiming. Carrier will back away as Hook goes wide. That is going to mean that Lucid not going to be able to get anything done. And we can see pings out. Kellen moving on forward. Showmaker just trying to block as the Emperor's Divide does come down. He gets over the wall. The flash hook is going to ring true here for Kellen, and the cage is going to come out as well. Faker, not long for the world, and Lucid will pick up that kill.
Actually going to give the kill over to the Viego here.
DK, I always get a little bit worried here because oftentimes they do manage to build leads, but in this series, just the gold lead has not really moved.
Got a goal in,
20 minutes.
TP advantage.
Yeah, let's see what they can get done here as the hook is going to connect, but it's onto Carrier. The cage comes down as well, but it's not enough to stun him up. DK should be able to get themselves their first dragon as Kingen teleported in. There's the knock-up with the 3 Talon strike. Looks like he is going to be okay. There's a flash in from Kellen, but it finds nothing.
He's going to be ecstatic. It's like, oh, Uzier. Leandris. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's no problem.
It's still terrible, but it's not as terrible. So there you go. Aiming up here as well, he's going to be able to grab this plate as now Carrier by himself is going to get hooked up as Lucid finding himself a stun as well. Aiming just wanting to maximize the amount of plates that he can pick up as teleport in from T1. Kellen knows that he's really dead, and that is going to be a kill going over to Goomer as well. And Faker, he wants even more. Good flash out there from Aiming. He's still going to have to vacate the area. There's a flash forward, the ulti. The Q didn't land. Therefore, Zeus will survive.
You're gonna have to give it up, and they need to be careful because there is a lot of engage. Carrier has his ultimate available.
Yep.
It's just gonna be Herald. But first Third Blood, probably gonna be able to go over here. Faker though, once he shows up.
Well, Lucid gonna make this one a 50-50. Let's see what can happen. It is gonna be the steal away as so much AoE damage coming down. The Dawning Shadow, massive value as Zeus has made his way into the fight. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but the Bane is starting to pop off. Lucid gets over the wall, and now Showmaker left for dead. No flash because he used it earlier, and it's a double kill. Zeus now finally set up for some success.
With Viego and Cassante, it's not bad.
Doesn't feel the worst. I just don't know whether it's going to be a soul that we're really going to be talking about, as there is the charge forward. The cage is going to be put down there as well. Fair bit of damage onto Owner and Carrier, but once again, they're not the optimal target. Still, they do get what they came here for, and that is the outer turret here in the mid lane. Zeus also secured the top outer and is able to move this minion wave towards
T1 forcing DK to make a decision.
Yeah, and there's the flash forward. The cage is down there as well. Done. And he's just dead. Owner taken out. That is the pick you were looking for, but this is the problem. T1, is it going to be worth it for DK if this inner turret goes down? Not able to fight for that Drake, but Another 4 minutes, and it's not even a soul. It is just soul point that they were fighting for, as Kellen now finds himself in amongst two. Showmaker and Lucid a little bit too far away. I don't know whether they're going to be able to save him, but he gets a big old shield. Showmaker flashes away, and T1 are just going to jump down on top of him. He can't click the blast cone. He's running. It's a disaster. Meanwhile, the fight on the top side is also T1 favored. Faker takes down the Cassante. Lucid, I'm not sure about this one. He's trying to get his way out.
So dead.
As Zeus is chasing after him. Vayne pretty good at chasing you down, as it turns out, as he tumbles forward, and is able to lock down that kill. And T1, they've got Baron in their eyes, and once again,
can they make a hero play? Showmaker does have Smite and TP.
Okay, let's see whether Showmaker can get something crazy
Aiming
done.
his ult. Oh, double
he
TP.
has done it before.
This.
Yeah, exactly.
They know.
Yeah,
they
see
get
himself
like,
out. They're going to pick this one up. Okay, so it's going to have to be Showmaker's Smite that wins this one out. Carrier does have teleport, he can make his way back in. This is Baron not going down anytime soon.
TP Carrier behind them.
Looking for a little bit of an engage. As they're trying to block him off, they're going to see whether they can kill the Sejuani before this one is even a problem. But the all-out comes over the wall, it's absolutely fantastic. They take down Owner, but still Faker's able to hunt down the Cassante. Showmaker once again trying to run from Zeus. He gets himself a big old shield, but he won't find the cage. And he's on 1 health. The flash forward from Goomer is going to be what gets it done. And there is another team fight victory for T1 here. Lucid just showing up as the rest of his teammates take a dirt nap.
Lucid, it's an all or nothing, but I like this from T1. Don't even go for the Baron. There's no need. Don't need to risk it.
But Lucid could solo it. Chronicler?
Oh, I don't know if they're going to be able to try and contest this. They're going to give it their all.
Yeah, teleport going to come on forward from the Cassante. They got what they wanted. Let's see whether T1 stick around for a fight. The bait cage not really doing too much here.
Keeping an aggro, but going to drop it after all.
Yeah.
Maybe an actual 5v5.
Piercing Darkness able to keep them very healthy in this fight as well as the Sand Soldiers go forward. That's another cage. Hook is going to come through. No one's stunned though. And there's the re-engage. Kellen's down so incredibly low. And there is the pick-off. Cassante trying to get some Cassante things done, but it does not work. It's another kill for the Vayne. I think that makes it 7 for Zeus on the top side of the map. DK, they still don't want to give this one up. As Lucid does get into the mist.
Fast.
Yeah, no, this is just absolutely
They can't
ridiculous.
cage him! Literally!
And the Baron is getting down lower and lower, aiming, just taking pot shots here from Zeus. He's just able to walk out of the way of the burst fire. The Baron just going to be destroyed. No way for DK to respond to it at all. And the empowered recalls will get them back home scot-free. Now that Rebel Baron power play is going to start ticking up. Still, they do manage to get the flash and the ulti, but they'll sacrifice an inhibitor turret for it.
He didn't have the ult. If he gets the ult Faker, then he might be able to kill him. The cage.
Yeah, cage does go down. They push them into it, but Kingen can't really tank them up. Glacial Prison comes down. Carrier so incredibly tanky. Owner's going to be the first one to grab a kill in this fight. Another cage is going to work out as Lucid diving on board. He's got the Vayne, and Lucid's now trying to tumble his way to victory, but he'll be taken out as well. And I think DK are just that little bit too far behind.
Support, but it's still... Kingen is also only 1 level up on Guma.
Yeah, he's...
okay, it's 2 levels now. It's fine.
Managed to make it to level 15. Woo! There you go. Zona taking a bit of damage there. Aiming is pretty farmed himself. He's level 16.
All right, we need to see some real Vagoring, some Cassante shenanigans, something to bring this game back. Otherwise, T1 about to bring in the match point with this Baron buff.
Extendo Beam does no damage to these minions. You can see, okay, in goes Zona. Immediate cleanse from Showmaker.
Half health.
And yeah, that was just Owner going in. That's all that really gets them anything. And the inhibitors have just
not the triple inhib
as well. Kellen,
they know
wanting to find an angle, they spot him out. Mega Blast Cone is something that he can possibly use for a cheeky little angle, but it's not going to be before these inhibitors have all gone down. And Kellen's still just like trying to work out what he can do. The answer is nothing, as there's the explosion onto aiming, the primary target, and he has to go back to the fountain. Kingen's also having to dash away. It's going to leave their whole base exposed to Zeus. He'll be taken out. But even with 4 members, look at all of these minions. They are just gigantic. Kellen's made it to the backline though. And aiming's got his health back at the Nexus. It's so incredibly low, and there it goes. T1, match point, and holding on to their playoff dreams.
Performance here.
Yeah, he did a lot.
He did do a whole lot. For DK, I think the draft wasn't Gen G, and I think the reason why they didn't really want to go for the Ares because you are playing it into Poppy. There is a point-and-click CC available. as well.
Ooh, the Renata for Keria. So we are playing AD carry Ashe. And so Ashe Renata going to be that bottom lane. Try to nullify the Kalista. Of course, Kalista absolutely hates Ashe. Frost Shot is the bane of her existence.
At least let it not be a 3-0.
Yeah,
give us another game.
We just want at least one more.
I want two.
Play just a little bit better. Let's jump into the Rift, game number 3.
For Ahri in particular, and for Kalista, you're really looking for these early resets. This type of composition really kind of plays itself in that regard. As I wonder if Lucid is just going to run bot.
He certainly could.
You see the pings going down, so Keria and Guma like, wait, hold up. Wait a minute. And now we are going to see Aiming and Kellen come in a way that is intended to not give away, but they...
Yeah, I think it's very obvious.
I think T1 probably. Oh, that's big. If he can actually get the kill here, there is no vision right now for Zeus.
Yep, he's taking the exhaust as well, so doesn't have the ghost for the extended chase. He's now Kingin, moving on over. And Zeus, he's only got 1 gold card. There is the Tempest. The cripple comes down as well. The Q misses! As Lucid went for the Q smite to try and get rid of that pesky minion in the front, but you still have to hit the Q.
But if you look at the cost that has been paid, it is still a little bit rough as Lucid's going to show up.
Yeah, Q going to connect. There's the charm as well. He gets the Sand Soldier out as a safeguard, brings Lucid back, but he'll take a turret shot with him. And that is going to put him down to about a third. Still, should be a double scuttle here for the Lee Sin, who just lost his entire topside jungle.
Or another camp. Might look on Showmaker here.
Yeah, might be able to find himself an Ahri, as only level 5 can flash to get out of the way and does do so. Here, as we can see, but that does mean that Kingin now has an opportunity to get a lot of damage down. Q going to connect, and Zeus will be taken down. That is first blood. Gold card not enough to hold him in place. Yeah, no flash.
Ooh,
does have the exhaust back up and available now.
Lucid is going to spot Owner here.
Yeah.
They know though.
Yeah, Faker in position as well. Okay, Showmaker gonna spot Faker. Emperor's Divide's gonna push him under the turret. Spirit Rush has to be employed. And now, Ona trying to get some work done here onto Lucid, but it is just a fight for the campers. There's the flash in! Okay, Gumayushi gonna get all of those sticks thrown into him. And the Ren does come down. The Ignite still taking the bailout. They didn't wait quite long enough, but Aiming, he might be able to get it, and there it is. Now Keria running for the hills, but he will make it to the safety of his turret. A 1-for-1 here in the bottom lane.
And Aiming, walking out. Oh, God.
Well, Kellen crashing down towards Zeus. Does get the flash, and then gives him the good old thumbs up. He shouldn't be able to dive too easily, especially with Lucid here as well.
They don't know that yet.
Yeah, Shattering Strike to connect onto Gumayushi here, who's a bit disconnected. Crash down to come through as well. He's now aiming very slowly, trying to dance around this fight. In goes Kellen with the Fate's Call, as the pushback with the heroic charge is gorgeous. And now Showmaker getting amongst it. The Spirit Rush working out as Gumayushi desperately trying to hunt down Kellen. He'll find it, but he will die immediately. And trading support for AD carry generally not exactly something you'd say is worth.
Will be a favorable trade. Not too much given up in the end as Kellen.
He's back again. He wants to be anywhere but bot lane, I guess. Emperor's Divide is going to come on down. There's the Magnus Storm as Faker will flash to get himself out of the way. Q lands. Too close to the turret though, and Keria not going to be going down or engaged upon at all, but as T1 were thinking about trying to contest, and they're not going to. Just going to be the Herald going over to DK.
The early lead for Kingin actually ends up being quite big, because every single time we see Kingin already be in mid by the time that the objective is started, T1 spots him, and they're like, we can't actually make our way over. So Owner is here.
Yeah, heroic charge onto Kellen, actually finds a lot of value. He's going to get that knock up. Magnus Storm comes in. Lucid going to come on back. And now Showmaker has teleported forward. Ono is burning down. He's got the bailout, but look at the AoE. It is disgusting. Gumayushi once again going completely ham. As Faker going to get missed by that one. Zeus moving up. Remember, there is no rumble, but it's a 2 versus 4, so probably a little bit optimistic to go for it. And Kingin
get ahead of myself while I still have the opportunity to
because
I don't know if it's going to last as Faker.
All right, we've turned off the vision as Faker is just going to push him away, but the charm is going to come on back. Still, they just don't do that much damage to him.
Was he rich and he hired the jungler?
Oh, I mean, that's the thing.
We don't know. I don't have these answers, unfortunately, but it is not enough just yet. This mid lane turret needs to fall.
Arrow going to connect here onto Showmaker, who does make it out. Emperor's Divide's going to connect as well. Showmaker will be taken down. Aiming gets off the Fate's Call, so they're not going to lose too much more, but that is a very key pick.
Although, as I say that, they immediately peel off because of the ult.
Yep. A lot of vision available here with the Destiny, and now Kingin gonna have to flash to get himself out of the way of this. And Equalizer, it goes down, but they are just gonna chain CC him to death. Showmaker tried to get over there, but it's not going to work out. And now the Blast Cone gets T1 completely formed back up again. That charm, absolutely amazing, but there is the Dragon going over. It's Faker that secures it. Exhaust onto Showmaker. He's still very dangerous, but he doesn't find the charm. And the Rel will go down. Lucid is super dead. He will be taken out here by Faker and T1. So 1,500 on the clock as far as that Red Bull Baron power play is concerned. Showmaker was looking for some exit kills. Just think it's going to be so difficult as he doesn't quite find anything at all, really. And he's just going to be taken down.
They're still going.
Yeah, Kellen going in now. He'll be hit by an arrow. There's an Equalizer. That's going to do a fair bit of work. The Fate score comes down. They at least get the Twisted Fate. Kellen going to have to try and canter his way out. And it's a 1-for-1 in the end.
They might still look for a Hail Mary fight.
Might still stand a chance. The arrow is going to go wide. Equalizer goes down. I mean, it's a lot of AoE damage, but there are not a lot of members of DK in this area. They'll do a fair bit of work. Showmaker now trying to get in there. Lucid off to the side. He'll connect to Q. But with a Poppy in the area, you just cannot go in with a resonating strike. Safeguard to try and get Lucid out of there. And Showmaker, he's down to about 400. He needs to go back to base.
And this has been the story of today.
Certainly good news. Does mean that DK can get the push down, but T1, they are definitely taking this inhibitor. Or at least taking the turret.
The big collapse.
Yeah, Kellen walks over a ward, but you can see the Ahri moving her way in as well.
Doesn't have his ult.
Yeah, Kingin throwing down a very early Equalizer here. And Gumayushi standing in that brush. They're just trying to keep them interested. Of course, Zeus, he cannot get down here. Doesn't even have the ult if he's going to walk into that area. You're going to connect there onto Ona. Steadfast presence at the ready. As T1, they're just looking to try and find an exit, trying to find a way out. DK trying to find a way in. There is the engage. Magnus Storm pulls Ona back in. Fate's Call going to be utilized here is now Showmaker. He's fishing, trying to find an opportunity. Empress Divide, it connects only onto Aiming, who will now just try and kill the rest of his team because it was a fantastic hostile takeover. And now Lucid gets into the backline. Kerry is the last man standing, and it's Kingin finally making this Rumble work in a team fight. No, he is doing damage. And okay, into the backline goes Lucid. And then out of the backline goes Lucid, and he's now hit by an arrow. Fate's Call, as DK know that they need to start this fight. Faker, he finds the Rumble with the Emperor's Divide, but Showmaker's also going to be able to take down the Twisted Fate. Look at these health bars, they're so low. On DK's side, it's only Showmaker that still has any fight left in him. Still, it is a 1-for-1 trade of top laners, and T1 are still going to start off this Baron.
Of course. And Lucid, I don't know, he flashed in.
Look at all of the wards also littered towards the top side of the map. This is the only place that they really can look for picks as, okay, Zeus. Walk in. There it is, the engage, and Zeus is just going to be taken down. So T1, once again, have to deal with, without their Twisted Fate. I still think that it's multiple turrets going to be traded for the TF.
It's going to be mid-inhib at least, but they're going to look for the exact same play.
Yeah, no, it is.
Look at the long flank!
Oh, God. Well, Kingin, he can throw down the Equalizer. It's going to do a little bit of work, but...
Does it?
Yeah, logistics program's going to be absolutely fine there, shielding up the teammates.
They're a member up, though.
Yeah.
Fight so badly.
Still an opportunity here as the handshake does come through. Sundisk now going to be put up as well. As DK, I don't know whether they even have them where they want them. As Charm will connect onto Ona. He takes a fair bit of damage. Lucid, he's going to be the one. He is able to get over walls a whole lot easier. And yeah, Zeus should just be able to take 2 inhibs if they're not going to get the work done. And now DK, they were thinking about trying to collapse on top of him once again, but this Drake has been started up.
And it's probably going to go down to the wave.
Yeah,
DK
going to come on through, and now the Destiny has dissipated. Zeus now looking for that flank himself. Kellen taking 50% down as Faker. He's going to get himself out of there. It should be the Drake, a possibility. The secure for Ona, and they deny the soul. And now, can they actually win the fight as well as everyone's in the Thunderdome? Lucid is going to try and kick away the Azir, the Equalizer, just not doing quite as much as it wants to do, and he's stuck inside the pit with nowhere to go. And DK, they're now going to get flanked by Faker. He finds 2 with the Emperor's Divide, and that is going to be that. That will be the 3-0 as welcome back T1. They will go to the lower bracket final in Jumshill next weekend.
DK, they had an incredible series against Gen G. But it seems like tonight, that magic remains only in place when they face that team. T1 dispatch of them in a 3-0 sweep.
As he gets over that wall and does 36.5 thousand damage. 365. That's pretty cool. It's like a whole year.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the post-match interview translation with T1, who advanced to the lower bracket finals after a 3-0 victory against D+ Kia. We'll talk to all the players. Please welcome Zeus, owner, Faker, Gumayushi, Kariya, and head coach Koma. Congratulations! First off, with Zeus. With today's victory, you advanced to the lower bracket finals at K-Spo Dome. How do you feel? I feel like today, if we were to lose, I feel like it would be our first time getting eliminated so early. And I felt like, you know, when we get into it, we wouldn't actually lose. So I think I'm just really relieved. In Game 2, we saw a top Vayne victory after 1,900 days. And many only spoke about how good she is, and she was definitely a nuisance for the opponent. What were you looking for in a Vayne versus Xantine matchup? When it comes to Vayne, you know, I didn't really have much thought into it, but when Dindin played Vayne against Genji, I think I saw how good his performance was. That's what really inspired me to play her today. And I feel like if the team has a really fed Vayne, it would be a really hard target to deal with for the opponent. So Gumayushi, as an AD carry, how was Zeus's Vayne? I feel like just based on the comp, it was just really easy for Vayne, and it must have been really fun. So was it really fun? Zeus? Yeah, I tried to have as much fun as I can. So it seems like the team has full faith in your TF. What makes you prioritize TF so consistently? He's pretty decent in the laning phase, and with itemization, TF's value actually goes up quite high. So as long as you are able to survive the laning phase, I think you just look for a yellow card opening. And you will face Hanwha Life Esports once again in Jamsil. Yeah, we lost against them. It was a 3-0, a very helpless one. And I feel like this time around we will be able to win. Next up, we'll have Owner. It was such an important match. How does it feel to defeat D+ Kia and secure a trip to Jamsil? Yeah, D+ Kia has been doing so well, and we were definitely prepared. I'm just really relieved that we're able to win and get a 3-0 victory, and we'll make sure that we're ready for the next one. Did you expect a quick 3-0? After the first game, I did think that we would be able to finish the match with a 3-0. Feels like Xin Zhao is high on the tier list as of the playoffs. Your performance with him was of course on point as well. How would you rate Xin Zhao currently? I feel like rather than what happens in the early game, I think what really determines the game is team fighting, and Xin Zhao happens to be a really useful pick in terms of team fighting. And so T1 has always managed to advance to the finals whenever given the chance. So what are your thoughts? We get to meet Hanwha Life Esports again? And we are on our way to get our revenge. Next up, we'll have Faker. Yesterday, Faker, April 6th, marked your 11th anniversary since debut. Congratulations! And along with the very first 5,000 assists in the LCK, you have secured a victory. How do you feel? I feel like every spring I get congratulated a lot, so I'm very grateful. And with the 5,000 assists, I'm sure that a lot of the support esports are definitely following my footsteps into achieving my milestone. So I'd like to give them some credit.
우선 지난 한화전에서 저희가 조금 되게 무력하게 패배하고 나서
And so with the D plus Kia match today,
기간은 짧지만 좀 여러 가지
how did you guys manage to prepare?
적인 논의도
I feel like with the limited time that we had since the last match, I think we just tried to communicate and focus on the teamwork overall. In game 1, your Orianna was left open. And the opponent, after 1,459 days, picked Diana. What was your game plan? So I believe Diana had made an appearance in the EU recently. And I think I did predict that there would be a chance that I would see Diana against Orianna. So my main plan was to play more defensively. And with the Game 1 victory, your Orianna has an undefeated record with 12 wins now. How incredible. What are your thoughts? Are you confident with Orianna? You know, regardless of any champions, I'm always confident. When it comes to Orianna, I think it's all due to my teammates doing so well for me. And for the last stage before the finals, you have a rematch against Hanwha Life Esports. What are your predictions? Like last night, before I went to sleep, you know, for some reason, I had a weird feeling that I will win and get the title. So I want to make sure that we get our revenge and really just take it home. And I want to promise the fans that it will be a good match in the next match and the rest of the playoffs. And Gumayushi, you were full of confidence at the walkout. So did you predict a 3-0 today? No, I didn't really think about how the score was going to be. But I definitely wanted to secure a victory today. I wanted to make it to the venue, and I also want to make an appearance at MSI, so I really am very grateful for today's victory. And T1 always had a positive head-to-head record against D plus Kia, but DK also had a good momentum, so what did you focus on today? And with the head-to-head record, I noticed that we didn't even drop a match against them in the past 3 years. So, you know, I was a little worried about, you know, the D plus Kia fans. But we were also quite desperate for today's victory. So, and in Game 3, Ash had an insane kill participation. You were a part of 17 kills and had a massive influence in the game. Since Keria had been on Ash duty all along, how did you guys end up playing her as an AD carry? Ash is something that I really like and I'm also confident with, and Keria has always been playing Ash. So the opponents always were wary of his Ash, so I think that was something that we were able to turn into our strength today. Ever since T1 secured this exact roster you have today, you have never failed to advance to the finals. So what are your thoughts going into the lower finals? I believe it will be a fun experience. I always have a romance regarding going to big venues. I really want to meet all the fans. It's going to be a big venue, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll move on to Keria. You have defeated D plus Kia, who had a great momentum. How do you feel to lock in your place at Jamsil? I'm really happy that we're able to get a quick 3-0. Keria, you pulled out Camille, Sejuani, and Renata Glass, some of the picks that you haven't really been using in spring. So what was the vision for these bot picks? Since we are on a different patch compared to what we were in spring, so there are a lot of changes in draft. So I think that's what we were trying to consider in drafting. And now you will face the Viper and Delight duo at the lower finals. So what do you think will be crucial in this bot matchup? Life Esports bot duo is very good in terms of team fighting. I think the only way is for us to play better than them. So any message to the T1 fans out there?
사영 형이 말하면은 사영 형이 이제 롤에 대해서 얘기하는 건 100번 중에 100번 맞기
You know,
때문에
whenever
방금 우승한다 했으니까
Faker talks about something in League of Legends, 100 out of 100 times, he's always right. So we'll make sure that what he said today comes true, and we'll make sure that we put in our all to make it to the finals and take the title. Now, we'll talk to head coach Koma. You predicted a 3-0 score in the pre-match interview. Congratulations! How does it feel to advance to the lower bracket finals? Yeah, with today's victory, we were able to secure the lower bracket finals, and I'm very happy. We will make sure that we win the next match to make it to the finals. What advice did you give your players today? You know, rather than giving them any advice, I think we were just trying to go over all the different picks. And since it's a best of 5, regardless of a loss or dropping a game, that they shouldn't worry too much or dwell too much about it, and that we will make sure that we're prepared for the upcoming game. What would you like to say to your hardworking players? I just always want to say thank you to my players. They always put in their everything. And I also want to say thank you to all our staffs that have been working so hard in the scene. And you will now face Life Esports at the lower finals. So how would you prepare for this match? Lately, when we prepared for the match, we had about 2 to 3 days, and now we have a lot more time than that. So I believe that we have so many things that we prepared overall throughout the season. So I want to make sure that we're able to display good performance so that it leaves no regret. Congrats again, and we hope to see you play your hearts out in the lower bracket finals. And that's the end of the interview from T1, and stay tuned for the player interview with Ji-sun.
First off, thank you so much, dear, for that awesome interview. And we have yet another interview. We are joined here by the wonderful Keria and, of course, Ji-sun to help translate with the very exclusive interview here on the desk. So first off, congratulations, Keria, on the big win. And thank you for joining us here on the Global Analyst Desk. Can you say something in English to your global fans out there?
오늘 우선 승리 정말 축하드리고 이렇게 또 LCK 글로벌 분석 데스크에 직접 인터뷰하기 위해 참여해 주셔서 정말 감사드립니다. 가장 먼저 글로벌 시청자분들께 인사 부탁드립니다.
Hi, I'm Keria. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Hello, Keria. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, Keria, obviously, you have tons of fans here on the global side, and we're always so impressed by your insane champion pool. You play so many different things. It's always a big treat to watch, and even non-support champions like 80 carries and stuff like that. So, how did you first choose to, start playing all of these weird different champs that are non-standard in the support role, and how many more do you have prepared for the future?
우선 가장 먼저 정말 글로벌 시청자분들이 캐리아 선수의 정말 미친 듯이 넓은 챔프 폭에 언제나 감탄을 하고 있습니다. 사실은 이제 서포트 챔피언뿐만 아니라 정말 원딜 챔피언, 오늘 같은 경우에는 브루저 챔피언도 기용할 정도로 정말 상상 못하는 픽들을 많이 꺼내고 계십니다. 애초에 이런 픽들을 기용하게 된 계기가 무엇인지, 그리고 앞으로 또 색다른 픽들 몇 개나 더 남았나요?
일단 저는 옛날부터 서포트 라인에 정해지는 챔피언들 말고도 항상 어떤 챔피언이든 조합에 맞춰서 그 라인에 갈 수 있다 생각해서 이제 항상 조합에 맞춰서 서포 챔피언보다 더 좋은 거 있으면은 좀 다른 챔피언들 활용도 많이 해보고 그렇게 연습도 많이 하고 대회에서도 꺼내는 것 같아요.
그러면 앞으로 몇 개나 더 볼 수 있을까요?
지금 몇 가지를 사용했는지 모르겠는데 아마 롤 챔피언에 한 60~70%는 할 수 있지 않을까 생각합니다.
Like ever since the beginning, I have always thought that support players doesn't really have to pick from the support champion pool. Depending on the composition, you can actually pick whatever kind of suits your kind of style and theme of your comp. So I think it's really flexible kind of a role, and I'm looking forward to playing more champions. I'm not really sure how many more I will play, but I can say I will likely to play 60 to 70% of entire champions in League of Legends.
Well, that's insane, and it doesn't surprise me at all at the same time. So T1 and Best of Fives are always fantastic. They always seem to find a way to get through it, but you guys did kind of suffer from the loss against Homolife Esports, but now building up momentum from the 3-0 win against D plus Kia. What are you going to do about learning from your mistakes from the first Homolife Esports series, and what are you going to do differently this time?
T1은 언제나 다전제에서 굉장히 강력한 모습을 보여주셨고 오늘 또한 좋은 활약이 나왔는데 사실은 지난번 다전제였던 하나전에서는 조금 쓰라린 패배를 맛보게 되었습니다. 하지만 오늘 굉장히 레벨업 된 듯한 그런 퍼포먼스가 나왔습니다. 지난번 패배를 통해서 어떤 점을 배우셨는지 그리고 다음 리매치에서는 어떤 부분을 기대해도 좋을까요?
일단 저번 경기 준비 과정에 있어서 좀 저희 입장에서는 되게 뱀픽이 괜찮다는 느낌을 많이 받으면서 연습을 했었는데 막상 경기를 하니까는 뱀픽이 되게 좀 플레이하기 힘들다는 걸 느꼈고 끝나고 나서도 그래서 이제 플레이도 안 좋게 나오긴 했지만 다 뱀픽이 난이도가 되게 어렵게 나와서 다 이어지는 걸 생각해서 그래서 뱀픽도 수정하고 티어도 수정하고 기본 이제 개인적인 뭐 라인전 체급이나 그런 기본기에 대해서도 많이 얘기를 나눴던 것 같아요.
Well, during the preparation, we were pretty confident about our drafting. We thought what we are going to prepare and play would be good, but turned out it didn't really work well. And the most important thing was it was really hard to execute. So we decided to kind of fix our drafting and also our tier list. Of course, there were issues in our gameplay and also our fundamentals, but we mostly focused on the drafting itself. And also, we wanted to kind of become better at the fundamentals like laning phase and stuff.
Well, that's really good to hear, Carrie. And lastly, what is your mindset heading into the finals weekend and having a chance at getting yet another MSI seed for T1?
마지막으로 이제 다음 주 정말 중요한 결승 주간입니다. 다가오는 매치들에 대한 각오들과 또 이번에 승리한다면 이제 MSI를 또 한 번 진출할 수 있는데요. 각오가 어떠신가요?
일단 지금까지 MSI를 저희 로스터로 2번 갔었는데 2번 다 좀 우승을 못 해가지고 이번에 꼭 가면은 우승을 꼭 하고 싶고 그리고 MSI 꼭 가고 싶고 간절하고 그리고 지금 당장 눈앞에 있는 하나전이 제일 중요하다 생각하고 이제 하나가 저번에 경기했을 때 좀 정규 시즌보다 되게 팀업도 올라오고 기본적인 개개인 선수들이 다 되게 많이 올라온 것 같다고 느껴가지고 이번에도 저희가 잘 준비하고 저희도 잘 하면은 충분히 승산 있다고 생각해서 저희 잘 준비해서 꼭 결승 가서 MSI 가도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, I mean, T1 has been to MSI twice with the current roster, but we always end it short. So we really, really want to, get the MSI trophy this time. And also, we were really desperate for it. So I really wish that we can make it to the MSI by winning the upcoming match. I think what really matters the most right now is winning the upcoming Hana Life match. And after playing that series, we figured Hana Life, they were performing way better than their regular season form. Like their team play was way better and 5 individual players were just popping off. So I think we really have to get back to the drawing board and practice harder. But if we kind of come back with a better prep, I think it's a still winnable match for us. So I hope we can get another win and make it to the MSI and also make it to the LCK finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Karia, for the awesome interview, and thank you so much, Jisun, as always, for the awesome translation. And best of luck in the lower finals. So
정말 감사드리고요. 다음 경기도 정말 행운을 빕니다.
감사합니다. Thank you.
thank you, Karia.